Hello everyone, this is Professor Ramanandan HS, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Maharaja Institute of Technology, Mysore. So today the subject what we are discussing is continuation of fluid power engineering, okay, with the subject code of 18ME 55. Content of today's presentation are, so we have seen the different types of signal processing elements in case of multi-cylinders as well as single acting cylinders. So we will see the multi-cylinder applications with respect to coordinated and sequential motion control, because we are not using a single cylinder throughout. So we have numerous set of activities with a numerous various number of cylinders. They should be handled in coordination with a proper sequence. So how do you use a term called as coordinated and sequential control? We will see. Next is something called as motion control diagrams. So this is the next part of the coordinated and sequential control. So how do you represent it? In what way one can understand the movement of cylinders with respect to each other, in a particular order or in a sequence. So how do you represent it? That is more or less motion control diagrams. And last thing is signal overlapping. So these are the contents of the presentation of this session. So we will enter into multi-cylinder applications. So we are all aware that we have seen so many pneumatic systems. It may be a sheet metal bending application. In the previous class also we have mentioned the nail polish or the brush, painting brush what we prepare, the bristles which are arranged in a painting brush or a nail polish brush. So they are all not prepared by the help of human effort. So with a low pressure pneumatic system, one can easily come out with the applications like maybe sheet metal bending, maybe you have brushes which is being produced in mass production. So various number of examples can be quoted in pneumatic system where I don't have a single job, single task performed by a cylinder. So that means to say each cylinder is dedicated to a particular application. So there are various activities in a job allocated. So how do you coordinate the cylinder movement? Otherwise it will be a messy situation where the task which should be performed with a in a proper sequence to achieve the objective is undone. So there comes the word something called as coordination. In case of multi-cylinder, where we are using so many cylinders to perform one single task. Take an example of machining maybe. Machining, it involves various tasks. It has workpiece to be clamped, so it has tool to come from home position to tool position, and then the feed should be given. Then again a retraction. After the feed, again the tool should go back to home position. Again a workpiece should be declamped. So many activities by using just a pneumatic application. So monitoring all this, they should happen with respect to time. There is a control of time and there is a control of function also. We have two things, function being carried out, along with that there is a proper sequence or timing of the activity. So that all should be performed, and they should be controlled. This function and time should be controlled by some element. So that is that is where it comes the word called as coordination. Coordination is nothing but it is prevention of overlapping. So I told you clamping of the workpiece should be the initial task. There cannot be any other activity in a machining operation before the clamping of the workpiece. First activity should be clamping of the workpiece. Then comes the next activity, tool from home position to tool position. It should come to tool position. Later on, maybe the workpiece should start to rotate. Then comes feed should be given with the tool. So all these should be sequential, there should not be overlapping. Okay, tool cannot come and randomly contact the workpiece and start to give the feed. That cannot happen. So if that should not happen, there should be some controlling factor to control this function being carried out one by one, okay, without any overlapping. So the problem of overlapping is halt of the activity or the unfavorable situation which is led because of the overlapping of signals will lead to mishappening in the task being carried out. So that is undesirable in any machine. So engineer always focuses on controlling the function with respect to time. So function is nothing but, okay, the coordination. Time is nothing but the sequential control. So how do you control the function with a proper sequence? So that is why I am written here. Prevention of overlapping will give you a sequence control. So how do we do that? We will see one by one. Say if we have taken the same example here, okay, just go through the board. So we have taken example of, okay, the illustration sketch being given here. This sketch is nothing but it is related to sheet metal bending. So these two are the cylinders, 1A and 2A are the cylinders here. You can see a sheet metal, okay, sheet metal. The example is taken for sheet metal bending. Okay, 1A is a cylinder and 2A is a different cylinder. So 1A is for clamping the workpiece, you can see here. To clamp workpiece by extending the cylinder 1A. Okay, so 1A has to extend and hold the workpiece. Okay, that is the first operation. Second operation is to bend the workpiece by extending cylinder 2A. Okay, so 2A is holding the tool. So this is the bending tool. 1A function is to hold the workpiece. 2A function is to, okay, hold the machine tool. Okay, when it is extended, so obviously it makes a contact with the sheet metal and it will bend the sheet metal. Okay. Third step is withdrawal of the bending tool by retracting cylinder 2A. Okay. So cylinder should be retracted now. 2A should be retracted so that, okay, bending is complete and 2A should be retracted from the extended position. Last step is obviously retraction of 1A. Release of workpiece, okay, retracting the cylinder 1A. So 1A should be retracted so that workpiece, okay, the sheet metal is complete. So finished component is shown here. We have obtained the L-shaped bending of sheet metal by 4 simple steps. So I repeat, okay, to clamp workpiece by extending cylinder 1A, to hold the workpiece by cylindering, okay, extension of cylinder 1A. Second step is, okay, extension of 2A so that the bending tool makes a contact with the workpiece and bending is achieved. Next, the retraction of cylinder 2A so that it is away from the workpiece. Okay. Next step is, last step is release of 1A. 1A should also be retracted so that clamped workpiece is released. Okay. These are the 4 simple steps. They should be happening in the same order. Okay. So that is how you obtain something called as motion and sequential control or coordination and sequential control. So how do you do that? With the help of signal processing elements, already we have studied there. Okay. So representation part. So we have studied the signal processing elements, okay, by using logic gates, okay, by using electromechanical control systems, by using transistors, by using limit switches, switching elements, the opening and closing of the valve if it is monitored appropriately. So obviously you achieve the control of cylinders. So if cylinders are controlled, activities are also timed and controlled. So how do you represent it? With the help of a diagram so that an engineer can understand, because there are so many cylinders. So I need to understand what is happening in the particular cylinder. So what type of motion is achieved with the time in the x-axis, or what is the motion achieved during a particular step. So that can be graphically represented with the help of something called as motion diagram or functional diagram. We also call it as, okay, function diagram also. So this is also a Okay, one more name given to the diagram, motion diagram or function diagram. Okay. So it is a graphical representation of condition of working elements. So what is the position of the cylinder during a particular step of the process, that can be represented with the help of the graphical representation. We will see how it is done. Okay. So the graphical representation is nominally represented as motion in the y-axis, and there are two types. Okay. I failed to tell you, there are two types of motion diagram. One is motion versus step or motion step diagram, and the second one is called as motion time diagram. So I repeat, so one is motion step diagram and the second one is motion time diagram. So in the y-axis, motion is common, the movement of cylinder. So working element is always pneumatic system, we take care of the cylinders or valves. Okay, sometimes we focus on valves, usually on cylinders. So motion versus step, it is called as motion step diagram. Motion versus x-axis, if you take it as time, we say it as motion time diagram. Sometimes we use displacement also for motion. So we call it as displacement step diagram, or so in few books you may find it as something like this. So it may be displacement. Both are one and the same. You can call it as displacement step diagram or displacement time diagram. They are one and the same. Okay, no big difference. So we will take an example here for a motion step diagram, a double acting cylinder. We will consider a double acting cylinder as the component. So we will analyze the situation, how one can write the motion step diagram. Okay. So this is the initial position is 1, say retracted position. 1 is the retracted position, 2 is the extended position. Okay. So once the cylinder extends from 1 to 2, okay, so then it retracts back 2 to 1. So extension towards right hand side and retraction is towards the left hand side. So we take position 2 as also 0. Okay, we will take the position 2 as also 0 sometimes. So how do you represent it with respect to motion time? I told you motion is taken in the y-axis and steps are represented in the x-axis. So 0, 1 and 2, these are the three positions. So 0 and 2 are nothing but they are equal. Okay, they are equal, we have considered. So the positions, there are three steps here, 0, 1 and 2. Okay, 0, 1. So 0 step is nothing but there is no motion. Okay, if the motion is from 0 to 1, okay, it is taken as extension. So then 1 to 2 is considered as, okay, 1 to 2 step is retraction, we have taken it as retraction, and 2 is initial position. So according to this consideration, our numbering should change. Okay. We have taken the number differently here. So with respect to the drawing, we take this as position 1 and this as position 2. So now it holds good. Okay. So 0 step is nothing but no position. 0 to 1, say from 0 to 1, so 2 is equal to 0. So minor slight change in the diagram. So position 1 is nothing but 0 to 1 is extension, 1 to 2, okay, the cylinder, double acting cylinder retracts, okay, by taking the convention is retraction, and obviously 2, if it is holding there only, it is nothing but the, again, no motion. We call it as hold position. Okay, there is no movement of fluid, there is no actuation of the cylinder. So how do you represent it in the graph? So you can see here from 0 to 1, so it is extension. The line highlighted is called as functional line. Okay, the construction lines are different than the functional line. We have written it as functional line. Functional line is nothing but it is a representation of, okay, position or sequence of steps of the component. I repeat, functional lines, they represent sequence of steps the component is achieving. Okay, that means to say cylinder movement can be observed from the functional lines. So here it is from 0 to 1. I have already told you 0 to 1 is extension. So that is shown with the elevated line here. The line is inclined. That means to say cylinder is getting extended. Okay, from 1 to 2, the line is declining. The declining line also indicates it is gradual. Okay, if it is cut sharp, if it is vertical cut sharp, that means to say it is instantaneous. Okay, the cylinder comes to a halt instantaneously. If it is happening gradually, the line is also the line drawn is also a gradual line which is declining with this behavior. Okay, it is not an instant or sudden halt, it is a gradual retraction of the cylinder. So this is about the motion diagram. Okay, we will take for an example. I have already quoted there, but still we will take a relook into things for better understanding. Motion diagram for a double acting two cylinders. You can see here 1A and 2A, both are cylinders here, for sheet metal bending operation, actuated by a 5-way 2-position spring return valve. 5-way 2-position spring return valve. So you have seen 4 ways there. One is the hold position. So that is the 5th way. Okay, two cylinders are 1A and 2A. So you can see here 1A and 2A are cylinders, two different cylinders. 1B1, 1B2 are nothing but the extended and retracted position of cylinder 1A. I repeat, 1B1 and 1B2. So this is the retracted position of cylinder 1A. 1B2 is the extended position of cylinder 1A. So same thing here, 2B1 is the retracted position of cylinder 2A. 2B2 is the extended position of cylinder 2A. So 1A is holding and de-holding or clamping and declamping the workpiece. 2A is holding or controlling the tool. It is controlling the tool with its extension and retraction. Okay, it is mounted with the tool. So this is the sheet metal what you see here. I have to bend it in the shape of the alphabet L. So this is the finished component. Okay, so M1 and M2 are nothing but the solenoid actuated spring return valve. We can see here M1 and M2 are nothing but the 1M1 and 2M1 are the valves, because the inlet valve, obviously that is the power supplying element to the cylinder. It controls the movement of cylinder, extension and retraction. So if you write motion step diagram and motion time diagram to this particular application of sheet metal, so cylinder 1A, we will write the motion step diagram for cylinder 1A. I told you cylinder 1A is to hold the workpiece firmly during its extension. Then 2A extension, 2A will extend and bring the tool closer to the sheet metal, and sheet metal is bent to the desired position, and then 2A again retracts to the position 2B1. Last step is 1A retracts by releasing the workpiece. So holding the workpiece, next cylinder will push the tool to bend the sheet metal, again releasing the second cylinder, releasing the first cylinder. These are the 4 steps involved, along with the hold position, 5-way involved in the pneumatic cylinder application. So you can see here cylinder 1A, so the extension takes place in the step 1. So it remains extended throughout, it remains extended in position 1 to 2, 2 to 3. That means to say it is clamping the workpiece throughout till the finished component is achieved. Step 0 to 1 is clamping of the workpiece. It holds the workpiece throughout the operation. During bending, so 1 to 2 is bending operation, 2 to 3 is releasing of the bending cylinder which is actuating the bending tool. 3 to 4, that is where we release the workpiece. You can see the functional line decreases. Functional, there is a extension takes place here. It is in the hold position throughout the operation. The cylinder should remain, okay, in the extended position, holding the workpiece. So at the last position, okay, it should retract and declamp the workpiece. So similarly, what will be the motion step diagram for cylinder 2A, which is holding the bending tool? So you can write it like this. So initially there is no position, okay, there is no actuation of the tool because sorry, the cylinder 1A is actuated in the step 1, okay. The cylinder 2A remains in the halt position. That is what is written in the functional line here. 0 to 1, there is no actuation of the cylinder 2A, the cylinder which is connected to bending tool, okay. Then extension of the cylinder takes place, the bending operation takes place because of the extension of cylinder from B1 to B2, okay. Soon after that, step 2 to 3 is nothing but the, okay, releasing of the bending tool by retraction of cylinder from B2 to B1, okay. So soon after that retraction takes place, and finally again in the last operation it is related to cylinder 1A, nowhere it is related to the cylinder 2A, that is where it remains in the halt position. You can see here the condition of the 2A cylinder is in halt position from step 3 to 4, you can see. So this is very simple graphical representation of what is the actual condition of a cylinder during the operation. With respect to time, if you plot it, so I told you there are two types of diagram, one is motion step diagram and motion time diagram. With respect to time, how do you write it? Okay. So same thing, take it for cylinder 1A, 1A is holding the workpiece. So it extends in the first step, okay, it remains in contact. You can see here the time between the step 2 to 3, it takes more time for bending and retraction cycle takes place, okay, randomly. Retraction takes place very random or with a greater pace. So that is why the time elapsed between step 2 to 3 is quite smaller. 1 to 2 is where the bending operation is taking place, okay. Though the position of the cylinder is in hold, but between the step 2 to 3 is quite small, the time is quite small because tool should retract rapidly. During bending it is very slow, and during releasing of the bending operation the cylinder moves, okay. The time between these operation is quite small, okay. So but if you compare it to cylinder 2A, so compare this motion step and motion time diagram, the time occupied, extension takes place gradually because the tool is bending the sheet metal, it should take place gradually without damaging the sheet metal. But when the tool is released, retraction takes place randomly with a quite small amount of time. So that is the important difference in motion time diagram. Okay, there is something called as control diagram. We have seen the movement part with respect to the component. So what is the thing which is controlling the entire signal or entire operation of the valves? So that condition of control elements is represented by, okay, one more diagram which is similar to the motion step diagram, is called as, okay. We can take an example of, okay, the example 3-way, okay, 3-way 2 position, 3-way 2 position valve. We have taken roller actuated valve, okay, roller spring return valve. So this is the closed position is 0. If I consider closed position is 0 and open position is 1, okay. During the initial step you can see here there is a flow of the fluid, okay, flow of the fluid, and then it remains extended, cylinder remains extended, and finally the cylinder, okay, retracts at the step 4, okay, during the last step, and finally control can be achieved using the control valves. Say the valve should remain in the halt position, okay, should remain in the halt position, then it should release the fluid, it should remain halt again throughout the operation, and finally it should retract, send the fluid to the reservoir, then again the halt position should sustain. So this is how you control the signal or flow of fluid from the valves to the cylinder, okay, between the step 1, 2, 3, 4. The step is carried out from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 4. So the actual series of events should be controlled by continuously allowing the fluid to pass through. That is what is the input we can consider from the control diagram here. Okay, between 1 to 4 is the operation taking place, and it has started instantaneously. You can see here the functional lines they were gradual in the earlier case, but in the allowing the valve or valve opening condition, you can see the valve is opened suddenly through, okay, it is not gradual, it is sudden open and instantaneous flow of fluid takes place. Okay. So finally, last step is something called as signal overlapping. I told you it is a more recurring problem which occurs in pneumatic system. We have taken example of 5-way 2-position memory valve. So you can see here there are 2 pilot signals, okay, 2 pilots. Signals of various intensities will be usually, we see that one after the other, that is a particular way of sequential control. But in few cases we see the stronger intensity signal will not diminish and allow the next signal to pass through the system. So this is the usual problem what we see. The previous signal will be usually overlapping with the current, okay, signal what is allowed to the system. So that causes a chaos or a messy situation in the pneumatics, okay, systems. We have taken pilot signal here. If both the pilot signals are still sustaining in the system, so that causes a problem to the 5-way 2-position memory valve. So what operation should start and still the operation is, okay, carrying out without the switching over to the next operation. So this happens with the low intensity and strong intensity, the signals which are continuously interacting with each other. Okay. So solution to that signal overlapping, okay, to avoid the, okay, discoordination of the functioning of the pneumatic system, we have 2 different ways in which it can be tackled. So one is signal suppression. Already existing signal should be suppressed by one or the other means, okay, by using a pneumatic control system or by using signal elimination method. Okay, you avoid that signal by using a different techniques. So signal elimination techniques. So that will be, we will discuss that part of avoiding a signal overlapping with a signal elimination method in the upcoming class. So hope this content has reached you efficiently. Thank you.